Greetings. I'm creating this video for the purpose of helping students find left-hand balance. In order to do that, I'm going to show you a basic exercise that will help you find a good balance for your left hand. And we're going to do a couple of different exercises. I will show this main exercise in three different views. The distant view as you're looking at me now. There will be a close-up from the front view and a close-up from the back view to show what the thumb looks like as the thumb travels behind the fingers on the neck. So to find the left hand balance, what we want to do is find the place that the thumb will most comfortably place behind the fingers, and that's generally somewhere in the middle of the hand, that is behind the second and third finger, sometimes between them, sometimes behind the second, sometimes weighted a little bit towards the third. The easiest way to understand how this works is to imagine that you're going to approach the fingerboard with your fingers all curled as opposed to straight. Fingers do not want to be straight, except in very unusual special circumstances. So initially, in the fundamental stages, we want to find a good curl for all of the fingers, because this is really in the middle of their range of movement. If your fingers are extended, that's at one extreme, and if they're tightly curled, that's at the other extreme. So this gentle curl in the middle of the range of flexion and extension is where we want your fingers to be. Ironically, when guitarists start learning to play with the left hand, they start on the first string. And that's actually quite difficult to start. So what we're going to start with in this exercise is we're going to move all the way to the sixth string and start there. We'll gradually move towards the first string and back to the sixth. So what we're going to do is extend all of our fingers where each finger has its own fret assignment. First finger on first fret, second on second, third on third, and fourth on fourth. Now, in no place during this exercise do we actually put pressure on the strings. All the fingers will do is to touch the strings. We won't actually press the strings to the frets. So starting on the sixth string, we are in first position, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you want to feel the string underneath all four fingers. You want all four fingertips to feel the string, but just touch it. Just rest the fingers on top of the string and don't press. Now you're going to see some differences in the curl of the fingers. Notably, the second and third fingers are going to appear the most curled. The first finger has a little bit of extension from the middle joint, but a good curled top joint. Top joint is this joint where the finger starts. The middle joint is here, and the tip joint is at the end of the finger. So this curl in the second and third fingers, a little less curl in the first finger, and even less in the fourth finger, because our fourth fingers are shorter than all of the rest. In order to get a super good curl of the fourth finger, you may be pushing your second and third fingers beyond a middle range of movement. So it's important to rest, even if you're not pressing on the strings. This is not a natural position for your hand to sit in necessarily, so it's okay to rest. Find the position and note where your thumb is. The thumb will probably be just below the middle of the fingerboard in this direction. Top of the fingerboard, bottom of the fingerboard. The thumb is probably somewhere in the middle, and it's pressing on the flesh of the thumb just above the tip joint of the thumb. So you can see I'm resting, I'm holding for a while, and especially if you're holding in a static position, your hand needs to rest. It needs to have some mobility, so you work out any stiffness. Finger circles are a good way to work out stiffness in both directions. We can talk about finger circles in another video. So we're going to start using a metronome on 60 beats per minute. So this is 60 beats per minute, 4 beats per bar, and the pattern is a 4-beat pattern. So I'm going to stop the metronome for a second and show you the pattern and then turn it back on. So the pattern is touch, that is all 4 fingers touch the strings, play the string even though you're not pressing, so you're going to hear a muffled sound. So the finger that's actually closest, the finger that's actually producing some sound is the 4th finger because it's the one that's defining the length of the string, but there's no clear pitch, and that's exactly what we want. So we touch, play, lift, move. Touch, play, lift, move. And note that when you move, what moves is your entire forearm. The whole hand moves, all 4 fingers in line on the strings. And as you go to the first string from the 6th, you'll notice it feels different. Once again, moving, the whole hand moves, which means the thumb loosens on the back and moves with the hand. The thumb should gently slide, comfortably slide on the back of the neck. So when we start in the 6th string, the flesh of the tip joint of the thumb, the tip segment of the thumb, is just touching right just below the middle of the neck. As we move in this direction towards the 5th string, the thumb moves a little bit lower. Towards the 4th string, the thumb moves a little bit lower. 3rd string, it's moving. The thumb is now almost pressing on the tip of the thumb, but still the flesh tip. And as we go to the 2nd and the 1st, the whole hand moves farther away from the fingerboard. So I'm going to put the metronome on, and remember our pattern is touch, play, lift, move. 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 So I'm going to do that pattern, and the idea is that we start at the 6th string, move to the 1st, and move back to the 6th. So that's a total of, well, it's a total of 12 or 11 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We play 6, and then we go back down for 5. So, touch, play, lift, move. 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 In the other direction. Touch, play, lift, move. Touch, play, lift, move. Touch, play, lift, move. Touch, play, lift, move. Touch. So that's basically the exercise. Now, I'm going to show it to you in the close-up view. I'm going to pause while I switch cameras. Okay, we might have swapped files in the video. We're in the close-up view now, and we're going to put the metronome back on. actually, I'll get in position first so you can see that the top joint of the fingers, which is here, is pretty close to the neck, to the fingerboard. And there's a gentle curl here in the wrist as the wrist attaches to the forearm. So we move the entire hand in this fashion. The whole hand moves. Touch, play, lift, move. 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 I got a little bit off because I played the wrong string. When I went to finger the fourth string, I actually played the fifth, so that was a little bit of a distraction. All right, I'm going to pause again and show from behind because that's really important. Okay, so now here's our view from the back. Starting all the way up on the sixth string, so you can see the fingertips, a couple of fingertips. Here I am. Hello. Fingertips are on the sixth string now, and you can see the placement of the thumb just below the middle of the fingerboard. This is the middle fingerboard line, and the thumb is just below it. And I'm pressing on, how do I show this? I'm pressing on this part of the thumb. Just really, really gently, just touching, not really pressing. Certainly not pressing if we're not pushing our fingers down. All right, so we're going to turn the metronome back on. Here we go. Touch, play, lift, move. 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 Touch. All right, I'm going to switch back to front view for another look at this exercise. Now, what I showed before was using all four fingers. And it's actually, there are two simplifications of this exercise that are useful. One is to just use two fingers. I'm sorry, I'm still in close-up from the front mode, so you can't really see me talking very well, but that's not important. What's important is what the fingers look like and what they feel like. So rather than use all four fingers, we're going to use just the middle fingers, 2 and 3. Because then we can get a sense of what the balance of the thumb feels like when we're only thinking about 2 and 3. These two guys. 1 and 4 will be unemployed temporarily. And when they're unemployed, it's important for them not to be sticking out or being tense or anything. They should just be floating along in the air along with the hand. All four fingers still centered over the same string as we move across. 1 and 4 moving with 2 and 3. The whole hand moves. It's easier with 2 and 3 sometimes to get what this feels like. touch, play, lift, move. Touch 2 and 3, play, lift, move. Touch, 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 play, lift, move. Touch. Just with the second and third fingers. Now there's another way to do this where you use all 4 fingers, but you are not doing it in first position. This is quite a large stretch because the frets are wider apart in the first position. So we're going to move to the 5th position, all the way up here to the 5th fret, and you can still employ all 4 fingers, but they're not stretched out to cover all 4 frets. So we'll start at the 6th string again, because the 6th string is a good place to find the curl of your fingers as they cover the entire fingerboard. So if we start with 2, 3, 4, touch, play, lift, move, 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 touch. When you get back to the 6th string, you can stop. I'm going to switch back to the long view camera again. And finally, I'll just talk a little bit about whether or not you use all 4 fingers. If you have 4 fingers, each individual finger there are 4 single finger patterns with 1 touch, play, lift, move, just with the first finger. The other fingers are unemployed. So there are 4 ways you can do individual fingers: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. There are more ways. There are 3 different ways you can do adjacent fingers: 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 3 and 4. There are 2 ways that you do, well, there are 3 ways that you do non-adjacent fingers. There's 1 and 3. See, 2 and 4 are unemployed. There's 2 and 4 where 1 and 3 are not being used. And there's also 1 and 4, which is the opposite of 2 and 3. Remember, we worked with 2 and 3 as balance in the middle of the hand. 1 and 4 is a good possibility too. These are more useful when you're actually playing notes. However, it's still useful for you to find the balance of your hand with these individual patterns. For now, in the beginning stages, just try 2 and 3 and all 4 fingers, just to see what that feels like. And so I want to reiterate that how important it is for the entire hand to move, and the thumb sliding along the back slides very comfortably, and it's not pressing hard. There's no need to press at all. We're just standing on top of the strings with the fingers, and we're comfortably sitting in the park bench of the back of the neck with a thumb. I hope that's a useful analogy. That's all I have for today. Thanks.